Sweet.
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 Podcast part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2.
So it's all going to be one, but this is part 2.
This is part 2, guys.
Boom. Let's go.
All right. Take it away, Will. Who are our guests? What are we doing here?
I was down with. You say it first.
Okay, our podcast is called Down with Chris and
and
Will.
Will.
Look at his face when Down with Chris and Will.
Like Down syndrome is the joke. Even though he speaks fluent Japanese, like
I
yours truly.
suppose.
No, Will's very sharp for his age.
Am I?
So do you want to introduce
Yeah.
yourself?
Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Kelly Akana. It's me.
You might have seen her shirts, her posters about end human trafficking, which is one of the issues we wanted to discuss. Because trafficking, there's one problem. It's called extortion. When you talk to the Department of Homeland Security, boys, men are the number one labor traffic across the world. Women, sex trafficking is number 2. Smuggling is when you're crossing borders. Because we're talking about Maui, Lahaina, we got the Find Hannah stuff. Because when you start going to LA, other districts, other states, like to LA, Nevada, Utah, what's happening, some of these family members, if you're over 21, you bounce. It's like we can't really do anything, right? Because we don't know where you go, if you're going to party with fentanyl and drugs. But we do have issues when you've got minors involved with pedophilia, the satanic Illuminati, stuff. We don't want to go too deep, but we'll let you guys go because the more questions you ask, the more deeper we'll go.
Well, what are some of your foundations you work with? Any of that stuff you want to plug?
Well, human trafficking.
I'll just talk.
And human trafficking in Hawaii. I think everybody can go there. They can register.
The website.
We have different stories of some of the children that we are helping through the Queen Iconic Ministries. And we are also have been fully self-funded.
Okay.
That's amazing.
We fully self-fund with crypto. Nice. Because we all know that the fiat dollar bill is a part of that system. And so the more and more we stop using, and in Hawaii will abolish fiat. I mean, it makes the most sense because of the central banking system and the pedophile elite here.
I always thought it was like when, in 2010 when I'd kind of read about this stuff online, it's like the stuff like Bill Gates and Epstein, all that stuff was out there for years, and then now it's
really out there.
Yeah, I mean, Weinstein was the most famous because shows would make jokes about that.
Right.
Like you'd see it on Family Guy and stuff, and now all of a sudden it's all rising to the top.
With the P. Diddy party and
P. Diddy too,
GHB and the baby oil, that's kind of everywhere. And Mike Minsky got killed in federal prison by the airport. That's in the 7-Eleven.
We
heard about it last night.
Crazy.
I'm like, we know he's guilty with all the Mike Minsky, Kealoha, Kanashiros. Because that used to be Kealoha, Mrs. Kealoha, which is the chief's wife, used to be banging each other, utu bang bang, on the chief's desk.
This is before I came back to Hawaii, by the way. I didn't know about
This is Mike Minsky and Kealoha. They were lovers.
Okay.
And so they tied into the drugs, the fentanyl, the heroin, Hells Angels, Koapunas, all the judges. This all is a dirty tide. So if you do have encounter a situation where your daughters are in this situation, and it's already happened, there are 2 safe places you can go. One is for Ho'olanapua, which is the North Shore, and the Suzanne Wesley Foundation.
Okay.
There's no safe place for boys. So if you get butt raped, you got to go stateside because there's no rehab place for stuff that happens to men. Unfortunately, in the entire state of Hawaii.
That's very sad.
We realize this is a problem nationally and globally. What's happening?
I could completely relate to that. I don't want to talk about what I...
What? No, say where
Should I mention that? No.
Don't name drop. Just don't name drop.
Okay.
But you could say it. You could describe
Congress already talked about 50,009, 200,000 for liver.
See, this is what I mean. Department of Hawaii Education, they suck.
Totally. I agree.
Okay, first of all, they suck. You know why? Because when I was bullied, nobody took me seriously.
Well, first of all, we bully you now and we don't take it seriously, too.
And then in middle school, I actually had an attempted rape.
What school did you go to?
Kaimuki
Middle School? Whoa.
See, I almost got raped by a black dude. But I somehow managed to escape it, and I told the teachers at the school, but no one...
In the bathroom?
No, at his friend, at his mom's house.
At his mom's house?
Yeah, in the bedroom.
What is going on, Will, on your pod? You just dropping truth bombs all of a sudden on your Instagram live.
But the thing is, if the females had the same kind of incident, they would take it seriously. Okay. And the worst part is, let's just say that his cousin is the politician of Hawaii.
Wow.
And I shouldn't name drop this, but
Well, you know, it's going to become very
she's
regular.
a Democrat. She's a Democrat.
People are going to know that there's a lot of pedophiles right here in this government.
There's a
See,
fucking
all I could say is Democrat probably supports pedophile. And that's the only thing I could say.
You don't say.
I'm not Republican nor
Tell
Democrat.
us more. I feel
Isn't
like
it-
we're just
with
peeling
you.
layers
Okay.
of your onion shell here.
Okay, but
Let's go, Will.
Just on like a practical level, like, isn't it weird that all these guys worship Satan and molest kids? Like, it's weird. Like,
This is weird.
like,
This
like
is-
why?
that's what I
Why?
mean.
Like, even if you don't believe in any of that, like, religious stuff, like, why? Why are they all doing that?
See, the thing is, I was putting my opinion on abortion rights. I mean, I don't think we should. But I mean, if you're involved in the rape case, like, I think abortion should be necessary. But what people are supporting abortion is for their own like goods.
Birth
Like, they're like,
control.
the more girls or the more guys I fuck, the more abortion I get. It's like kind of a thing. Like,
They're pretty sick because they're selling the kids. If you didn't know, they want the Royal Hawaiian bloodline. They're popping them off in Kalapana, 50K. They want the druggy babies. The migrant kids crossing the border. They want 15K in the eye. Livers, if you look on the black market, used to be 100,000, now it's 200,000 this year. The chop shops in Fern Acres down in Big Island, because Congress is like, what are you going to do about it, bro? I know exactly where you got to go.
What the
Because it's
fuck?
dropping down. Mayor
Wait.
Mitch Ross ain't doing
It gets
shit.
worse.
He's out.
Yeah.
It
Kima
gets
Alameda's in. But what are they going to do? So Division 1, Division 2. That's Hilo cops versus Kona cops. They don't talk to each other. How do the drugs come in? Easy.
No, but
Military goes through the customs, avoids. The cops come in, pick it up, go to their districts. Like, 52 districts, 250 precincts. And all the Kahena whores, they all got nicknames. You don't know their real name. And it goes to the corrupt judges, like we have on some child abuse cases.
Yeah.
And it goes really freaking bad.
Mhm.
And I know you want something to say.
It goes beyond what people really think
Mm-hmm.
is happening. And
Yeah.
a lot of people are thinking it's happening with the worst case scenario. And yes, there's so many people now that are frantic because it has been exposed for
Mhm.
a long time. But a lot of people had a lot of cognitive dissonance for a long time.
Yeah.
And so, like, now, when you're probably like 10 years younger than me. And, we're all younger. We don't have cognitive dissonance. We all have our own kind of instances. Like
We
what
can
you're talking
Google.
about what happened to you.
yeah.
And it happened to me when I was younger. And no one would listen to the girls either. So they've made a business out of trafficking people
Mhm.
right here in Hawaii. So in and out of Hawaii, in and out of Hawaii.
So I have a theory about, how I feel like Hawaii people, I guess, like women in particular, can sort of be like targeted for some of that. The famous case right now with Hannah Kobayashi, where they can't find her. I do know another girl that I grew up with where the same thing happened to her, and it's almost like because you grow up here, you're sort of a little more trusting, I think.
Yeah.
Naive when you go
Naive-
stateside. It's
yeah,
different.
yeah. And when you go to the mainland, you're like not ready for that, kind of looking over your shoulder all the time. So I can kind of see how Hawaii people sort of fall victim to that a little bit.
Yeah, there was a study by, I believe, Arizona State just came out during the summer. And they were talking about how 67% of people who are trafficked out of Hawaii are Hawaiian native. The survivors
Mm-hmm.
are Hawaiian native. At least that's what they're labeling them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a lot. If you think about, I think they did a study of like 360 people. 67% of that is
Yeah.
a large number. And so we have DNA that other people don't have.
Yeah,
and
that makes sense.
That's important to them.
So they want the royal bloodline. So when you're asking the question, why do they do it? You have to. The right-hand path is Christianity. The left-hand path, if you follow the Masons, is Lucifer,
Mhm.
which is the Lord of Light. It's in the Vatican, the mausoleum. They call him Moloch and Baal.
But we get our
And
own.
they want that adrenochrome.
None of that is
They want
ours.
that loosh in that third eye,
Yeah.
the adrenochrome. It is true, and they do sacrifice them, for the blood. They take them in a bathtub, make them turn them upside down for a couple of days. They slice off the head and they drink the blood with these satanic witches.
Okay, but what do you think about Chris Tucker going to Epstein Island?
Obviously, he did it in the butt, like with P. Diddy.
Yeah.
LeBron James was in that maid
He didn't listen to
outfit.
Cat.
Oh, Jeff, you don't think
He
he
was
was
the
like
Cat Williams.
you don't think he was entertainment for the Epstein Island?
I'm pretty sure he took it up the butt multiple
okay.
times.
He wasn't just there like,
He
oh,
went beyond the fifth
oh,
element, bro. He went hitting that high note from
Oh.
Space and Beyond. Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
I'm
it-
Chris. Rush Hour 2. Rush Hour 69.
oh, Fifth Element. Oh,
Oh yeah, 69, 69, baby. Oh yeah, I'm Michael Jackson. Oh, I saw he can move and dance.
He was also good friends with Michael Jackson.
Yes,
I
he
know.
was. Black Snake.
That's the ultimate gang. Is it's not Bloods, it's not Crips, it's pedophiles.
Right, because
No,
there's
you're
a list.
absolutely
There's a
right.
list
Yeah.
right from
I
P
I mean,
Diddy's
really,
house.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, it's been around since literally the 1200s that we can document
Yeah.
it.
Wait, so can you, for our audience and for me, because this is all kind of fast and shocking, break it down like a little slower one more time? So these gangs or criminal organizations abduct indigenous Hawaiian people from Big Island, especially, is the worst, but also other islands, and then they.
Oh yeah, Kauai, we already know exactly.
So
I mean,
right, they're coming through different ports, and so they're looking for people who are victimized because they want to party. Like if you've been on the East Coast, New York, the
So if you give 'em the
cocaine,
drugs.
they love the stuff because they want to get out. Because you imagine they're stuck in this house,
I
they've
know.
never been, they're on the bus. They want to have that Gucci lifestyle, doing Instagram, like
Yeah.
The Rock, like Kim Kardashian. So they want to have a good time, and they're going to take whatever's there. Beyond 420. If you're 420, you're going to be fine because you're going to be smart. But if you start taking all this other shit, you fall victim. And then they
Degenerate.
take them on a boat. They promise you. So P. Diddy used to come to Big Island all the time on this black private plane on Averna side. So you're in Hilo or Conum, he flies on privately with the liquid cocaine, with the, before everyone went out to GHB and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So they're picking up these people and they never come back. They like little boys. They like little girls.
You know what's crazy too is like if you're on a boat in Big Island or even if you fly a drone, you see some of these like mega mansions. And my parents live, on that island, and I'll kind of like go exploring sometimes when I go visit, and I'm like, who lives in these places? And there's like helicopter pads. I'm like, what the heck?
So you don't want to go to Ocean View, South Point. That's where all the real criminals go.
Yeah.
The Russians. We got the Sinaloa cartel, Jalisco cartel. The Tren de Agua ain't so strong there. But if you start messing around with this stuff, they're going to start messing with your tires. Like, they already know about me, right? So you guys should be fine. But you're going to have to be a little incognito
Yeah.
if you're going to go to these places like Kalapana, where there's major human trafficking, where they're selling babies. It's right of the castle. And that's where they're
I
selling
know all
drug
these
babies.
places too.
Yeah, exactly. But if you know Uncle Robert's is a little to the left. But if you try to go film in there's no cell phone service. There's no Wi-Fi. And
Really?
someone's going to spot you guys. There's one way in, one way out. They're going to lock you down.
Mm-hmm.
Sayonara.
So did you know that the Kona airport it covered over the real estate of a pedophile who was into boys for a long, long time? from
Really?
Europe?
That I don't know.
Yeah.
What?
I just with the mission and people reporting all of these different instances that are happening. That's one of the stories that I learned something new. Every time
Interesting.
we're talking to people who are there or experienced it.
I have a lot of friends that are like in denial about this kind of stuff, and it's really funny to like test them. They're like, "No, that's all crazy." I'm like, "Dude, it's like pop culture at this point. Like P. Diddy, everyone knows about it. Like this stuff exists. It's not up for debate anymore. This
Yeah.
is what's going on." I always had a theory that like the reason why they did the pedophile stuff, at least like high level elite people, is it's like a contract you make. Where it's like, okay, we're going to go in business with each other. How do I know you're never going to screw me over? Because we're going to go to the Epstein Island together. And so now we have dirt on each other.
Yeah, it's definitely used for leverage. I mean, Mossad.
Yeah,
CIA,
yeah.
You know,
Epstein was Mossad, yeah.
I mean, if people just get on and they do some research, and as we know, they're removing history off of the internet, and they
Yeah.
can do that. Google can do that, no
Yeah.
matter if
Okay.
they say, "Oh, you can't remove it off the internet." I've seen it with my own eyes, and so they can.
Yeah, you
remove
can't
history.
find a lot of the Hunter Biden stuff anymore.
That's why it was.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh man.
and before when I was younger, I didn't think to save a lot of these things,
Mm-hmm.
So like you seen them, but they're just like, whatever. But after 2020, we do engagements, we do
Mm-hmm.
First Amendment audits, we, just walk up to people, and if we know that they're a pedophile, we just tell you on camera that we
Yeah.
know you're a pedophile.
I love those videos where they like catch them. They're like, this guy's here to meet a 15-year-old girl.
But that's the thing is like, I think that's what it's actually going to unify people.
Mm-hmm.
People who have a sound mind really know that you can't have a pedophile in
Yeah.
government. If you're a king and you're a pedophile, you got to go.
Yeah.
And so in Hawaii, as we're moving forward, the way that I see it is this is not America. And I would encourage everyone to read public law.
Wrong continent would be Oceania, technically.
103-150. That's where the receipts start, and that's where you can see like what the United States admits to. And what's funny is Bill Clinton signs the 100-year apology.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So where was he at? He was in the foyer in a blue dress and red high heels.
On
where he
Epstein
was,
Island
on
with
Epstein
Chris
Island.
Tucker.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know.
So
I know they were actually friends. Like,
So-
Yes, it's
so
on
let-
the black books. Donald Trump is on the black
also,
books too. Just to let
shout
y'all
out
know.
to Kevin Spacey.
Oh, yeah.
He was with them too.
Guilty.
I'm a
as
big
well.
fan of his acting.
see, this is what I want to know. Like, what's the psychology behind pedophile? Like, I don't understand
So
that.
if you can groom children young, so if you can make them inhumane young, if you hypersexualize them, then they don't have any value in their mind. And so if you're young and you're getting that constant flow of this is the way that life is going to be, any person after a while, especially a child without a family, and if your family is the pedophiles, how do you get away from them? And so like this has been going on for centuries. So this isn't happening just like, in the last 100 years, but it has certainly been happening in the last 100 years. And so people have been grooming their children into this, and people have sold out. A life of prostitution sounds so much better than liberty because you have to actually work for your liberty,
Yeah.
and it takes
I
becoming
just thought about all the
intellectual.
girls that do OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
sick-
I don't like
yeah,
it.
it's
I
a
mean,
sick
I have my own
mindset.
social network because we have to migrate away from Facebook, but there ain't no OnlyFans because I get to block them. That ain't cool, be classy.
So how does these operations, like, just to bring it back to the hardcore topic of about 2 seconds ago, how do these operations where they're trafficking and kidnapping kids go undetected by the police, the FBI,
So
the feds?
they're a part of it. So the CIA smuggles in the drugs. When you contact the DEA, they can't do anything about it. Now we're talking about China, right? China is coming through major stuff, right? I call it China because there's no C in Chinese. It's an X. It's she, it's she, right? China. So we're gonna make fun of it. And they're bringing in the opioids, right, which is the derivative of opium, just like we had Singapore, British, back in the day, Calaca, we had real opium. Like if you go to Mexico, Colombia, you got real cocaine. $10, great shit. You come here, New York, $100, you get bloody nose. Whatever the fuck's here, fentanyl laced, you go into OD in the powder form. So the real drugs are already being brought over, being sliced and diced. Then the distributors going to the cartels who are paying out. So imagine how much is 1 kilo. You watch National Geographic, How to Catch a Smuggler. Why they get away here versus Florida, New York, or on National Geographic? Because we don't have the CBP, the Customs Border Patrol. They're supposed to be tracking the packages when they come in. When they come in the dock in Honolulu, there's like 50 trucks already lined up. No one checks inventory. You can put whatever the hell you want. Nobody knows.
For the folks at home, some good business ideas.
But the loaders on the dock know. The stevedores know. Meaning, we have family who work the docks. You have to know when you're unloading cement, wood, how you off balance. Not just you're just going to load fruit and take.
Those jobs are hard to get too. Those stevedore jobs.
Union. So they know. And then we have to talk about the Merchant Marine Jones Act because why does our food cost more here than bread in New York?
Or why do we have to ship our cattle out here to get hamburgered in California and sent back, and then it's 12 times as much?
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of the first one is the pedophile case. Don't laugh. That's like a deeper story to it, but when I was in high school, right, if you like 14 and then you like date like an 18-year-old, you're already like automatically a pedophile and shit. Like if you're an 18-year-old,
you're a 14-year-old boy who scored an 18-year-old senior. You're
Yeah,
awesome.
it depends on which way it's going.
yeah, no, other way
I
around,
mean,
other way around.
that
Or
when
you
you're
scoring on
young,
a freshman,
You're young,
you know,
you're
it's a little
young,
different.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was a lady in our neighborhood because we looked her up because you can go look on the list, and this happened a long time ago. She's a mother now, and her husband's
So-
older than her, but like she was 18 years old and she dated a 16-year-old.
Okay.
And she got arrested and put in prison.
That's kind of extreme.
You know what I mean? But that's what happened to her.
Yeah.
But she in that like category after all these
So
years.
what are
but-
the rules?
16 is legal consent for all of you guys worried about the law.
but what about
And all you guys that already
But
knew
it-
that,
but I
him
mean-
tracking your IP
Each
address.
state is different. Each state is different.
No, but I mean, how dumb do you
Just
actually
a
have
disclaimer
to say
out
that,
there.
right? If we all know that you're a minor under 18, then don't fuck with little kids. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how it works.
But
I
it-
mean, have some
but-
discipline.
But
you
like
know?
if your senior is dating a freshman, that's illegal too.
You're not supposed to have fornication.
Like, I don't think we're talking about that kind of thing, Will. Like, we're talking
We're
about
talking
like,
about old Sims.
yeah, we're talking about like
hardcore
hardcore kidnapping and raping
I know that's
children.
true. That's what I'm
I-
We're
saying.
not talking
Talking about high
about
school
that-
back
that-
in high
that-
school
a
days
guy
in
you were
Kamakee.
you went to school with that
Not to say that that's not important and that it shouldn't be checked out, because what if that 18-year-old is super highly manipulative?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
Which
mean?
they probably are. Let's be honest.
But to be fair, like high school, you're kind of forced to stuck up with everybody, so they're all like just stick with each other. So you can't really kind of get away with it. This is the shitty part of being in high school.
I feel like you're in the chess club.
No, I was not.
I was in the chess club.
I was in the chess club.
I wasn't.
It's okay.
I was in anime club,
4-move checkmate.
Japanese club. I was in all kinds of club. Oh, climate change. That was like the one I was in.
I just hung out with all the
Bandana.
druggies and didn't partake in drugs.
That's
Shout
me
out Kalani High School.
No, me right now. Me
Another
right
rich
now.
high school.
Me right now. My workplace.
Yeah, it was a bunch of rich kids that got into hardcore drugs.
Yeah, all my Japanese friends live up the high mountain up the road.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
those are the good old days.
me right now, pretty much.
But I did want to help better answer your questions. So we're going to go back to Big Island. And because the mayor used to be the prosecuting attorney, Mitch Roth, he has pictures with me and our Hawaiian Kingdom Task Force. We made under a Native Hawaiian organization to tackle on these crimes, because we didn't know how bad it was 5 years ago, 2019, before the Mauna went off. But now that Mitch Roth is gone, because he's actually a Roth child, his
Wait,
son
what?
works for NASA doing Mars stuff. His daughter's in NYU. Then after he lost to New York to Kimo Alameda, he wants to move to New York because his wife is afraid of what happens. Because Kimo Alameda's wife mysteriously died this year. I'm not sure. David Alco's wife died of cancer just the other day. Like a lot of mysterious deaths in politics, and one has to question, what's really going on, because where's the accountability? And what happens with the drugs when they confiscate it, which is why they don't want the Hawaiian Kingdom or private people to take over. So if the FBI comes in, we're going to raid this house. The police would normally take the drugs, take all the assets, and they'll divvy it up in the helo room, which never stays. And then it goes back into the streets. We never see the weapons, the drugs, the gold, the silver. When the FBI comes in, they're supposed to, bust it, nail it, raid it, and put the kids in. But where do they put the kids? There's only two safe places, the Holonapu and Suzanne Wesley. There's no safe place for boys. So if we rescue kids from an operation, we didn't know this, you send them back to the hospital. It was Hilo Hospital. What happens is not just 1 or 2 kids. It might be 5, might be 10, but then I'm not going to check their vajayjays, their botos, and their, I'm not that kind of doctor. We kind of got to pass it on to the aftercare professionals. But if you go to Hilo Hospital or Kona Hospital, they're going to go back to CPS, DHS, and go back to the same shitty system. It sucks.
Yeah, we have a good friend. He's a social worker. He has I don't want to name drop him, but he has a lot of like hardcore stories about that stuff. Yeah, you just as one of those people that works in that system, you just have to do what you can.
Yeah, so you can report it. I don't want to give you guys hope.
Yeah.
There is faith out there. I would send kids to the mainland. I wouldn't keep them here. There's different operations. We have Project Nehemiah, which is Christina Everett doing on the west side. You got Operation Underground Railroad, but Tim Ballard's kind of quiet because he's getting attacked. You got Operation Light Sign in Tennessee. There's different groups you can join online, on Facebook, on Instagram. And the word helps just to get it out there, because it's probably with the cartels, with the Fine Hannah case. Because if you have to think like a trafficker, you have to think like a pedophile.
Yeah.
You have to think like their mindset, like reverse Sherlock Holmes. If you would do it, how would you get away? And it's too much heat. Once you're on the metro, how come they won't release the footage?
Yeah, right.
Why would his
Yeah.
dad jump off? Why would a Hawaiian dad pay for all that money, go over all the news, and jump off the 7th floor at 4 a.m.? I said, bullshit. Because somebody said, probably had a
Yeah,
meeting.
you mean
told
there's no
informant,
cameras in that building?
and why
too?
jump at the 7th floor, bro,
Yeah.
at 4 a.m.? You could choose the 10th floor. You could choose anywhere else. And to me, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't add up. Yeah.
When you look at the YouTube comments, everyone's like, nah, the story's not making sense. You got the white auntie telling everything. I said, I want to see someone Japanese looking Kobayashi going to tell me what really happened.
Yeah.
Honto majide.
Yeah.
Zettai shiritai. Nihongo ga shiritai.
Nihongo
Not some
shiritai.
white Caucasian trying to tell me what they're doing. And, oh, the uncle just died because he had self-suicide. What the hell is Oh, yeah, Mike Minsky had self-suicide in federal secure prison, bro. How about that?
Back in the day, they used to, like, with JFK's assassination, it used to be this whole, like, elaborate thing and whatever. They had, like, fall guys. Nowadays, they don't even, like, care. It's like, oh, yeah, he killed himself. Just like, what?
That was on Patrick Bet David, if you guys didn't know. Cliff, who was the Secret Service agent, saw 3 shots. The first shot blasted JFK's eyes into Jackie's hands. Then the second one hit the rest of the forehead. And then he went out. And that's when Clint was the guy that went to go after. So they nailed 3 shots when that. That's why we can't trust the CIA,
Yeah.
who's smuggling all the drugs. They don't follow any U.S. Constitution.
Okay.
And it feels
I'm
like a trap.
interested in those files if they ever, get released.
I think this time Trump will. I think what I heard down was that last time they had the impeachment trials, and I think this is what I've heard. Like, a group of senators was like told, like, told him, like, if you do this, we'll just go ahead and make you ineligible to run again. And but I think this time, since it's like his last term, I think he will. My aunt, not name dropping, was actually best friends with Jackie O, like one of her best friends, and I tried to get her to tell me what happened.
Onassis, those don't know.
Jackie,
she remarried after Kennedy.
Yeah,
for those that don't know the story.
Jacqueline Kennedy, and she would never say. She said, "I told Jackie I wouldn't say until the day I died. I'd take it to the grave with me." So something happened, and we don't know what.
Well, we saw the movie played
Yeah.
by Natalie Portman, which really didn't go into it. When you start digging into the Illuminati, Onassis, one of the Greek shipping people.
Yeah.
Why would she leave Kennedy to go to the Greek ship person, right? And the family, so.
Well, I don't know them. I just know that some of my family knew them. But back to the thing about the children. So they take them off Big Island or whatever. Kauai's got a problem. How do they get them off into the mainland?
So there's
Where do they
different
go?
planes. If you look at private ports, Big Island is the biggest island, and you can put all the other neighbor islands onto it, and it's still got space. So
Yeah.
the private ports, Kona is the worst. You're dealing with wealthy mother fudgers, and you can't stop it. So when you try to track them down to Ocean View, South Point, they got private gates and all these things, and Ocean View got more guns than all the cops combined. So you got to know who you're dealing with. If you know someone in the neighborhood, you're looking brown from downtown, they'll probably let you in. They're going to know if you're not from there.
Yeah, it's true.
The coconut wireless is crazy over there. It's quick. Something you want to add?
I don't know. I think we kind of wrapped up.
yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to cover?
I think that more people should know what's happening right in the courthouses, like what
Yeah.
you're saying. The state itself is the human trafficker
Mm-hmm.
of Hawaii, and Congress agreed that the Biden administration, after the last 4 years, with everything happening, with all the lost migrant,
Yeah.
children, and letting all those people, and
Well, even the Lahaina thing, a lot of missing
well,
kids. With
that's the
that.
other thing, because in the beginning of the year, Josh Green appointed his wife to sit on the board of
Mhm.
Halekipa. Well, Halekipa is where you take all the kids to.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, and then there is actually a documentary that will be coming out about Lahaina,
Mm-hmm.
because there are multiple, anybody can call, conspiracies by groups of people.
I have a very close friend. I'm not going to drop his name, obviously, but he's in the military. He got deployed there day one. He went into it a little bit with me. He's not the same guy after, experiencing that,
Sure.
having to like bag the bodies and everything. It's obvious that it is permanently like
Yeah, they were disintegrated.
Yeah. He went into like graphic detail about it.
Yeah.
But what I heard was, I don't know what the death count is on paper.
They lied. They said like 102 or 110.
He-
But thousands died.
What he told me, he said that they ran out of body bags.
Yeah, they're all in pieces. You'd go to the cars, see them, and they'd be
Crumble,
like skeletal.
yeah.
Bro, it's like Terminator 2 Judgment
Yeah.
Day, but worse. There weren't any bodies. like you
Mothers
would
holding
see.
kids, like it was horrible.
Like Pompeii, but worse.
Like how does that just happen? Like how is there not a contingency
there's a
plan
lot
for?
of. I think the contingency plan was intentional.
Yeah.
So that is the contingency plan. Then it was the land grab,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then, Oprah lives there.
The Rock.
wanna
Shout out Moana.
They want to make a smart city. We all saw that in the United Nations, what they're really trying to do. It's bullshit with the water. Peter Martin controls all the water above. The county only controls 23%. It's bullshit. We got our family there. Kemoku Kapu. They lost everything. It burned down. Now they're like begging for money from the federal government.
Yeah.
Joe Biden promised them $700 to rebuild their land.
Yeah,
after
you lost
losing
your house
everything.
and your
The
family.
equity,
Here's $700.
Just like the people in Florida with Helen.
Florida,
Yeah.
North
It's the
Carolina.
same thing. And then, all of that, there's lithium over there
Yeah.
that they're trying to get to. And
I think about it like this. Like I could see a scenario where we have all these layers of incompetency and then something like that happens. But it just felt too calculated.
Yeah.
Like the
that.
roads are closed off. Like what?
5 fires when you check it from NORAD.
Yeah.
And you can see it going in different directions. So the one in Kula was diesel. The military spelled diesel before, so when the fire trucks go to put water on diesel, everyone knows that shit don't go out.
Yeah.
Then you had all the body cams going from already in the morning to like 4 or 5, 6 o'clock. Mayor lying on the news. I have no clue what's going on at 6 o'clock where everything's burning on fire.
Yeah.
Because they're full of kuka. Now they're going for $4 billion. You're hearing all the radio ads.
I mean,
They're
so
never
many
going to
people
be able to
already
recreate
left.
that city or that town.
Well,
like-
they shouldn't because it's not their town.
Yeah, it's like
That was the capital of the kingdom before.
In
it's
1802.
such a classic town too. Like,
You know,
Oh.
so if it's gonna be regrown, it should be by the indigenous people.
yeah, I agree with that.
There's one story I want to leave us before we go to the next set. Because we're dealing with human trafficking and child trafficking, a case that happened in the Supreme Court, Kiala Lani on Truth Like Peace.
Maui.
So on Maui, her pedophile spouse, which is the baby daddy, took the kids on the visit. Let's say you had the visits on the weekend, then you bounced to Utah with your family and never came back for years. So her being the mother expected that you broke the court order and that you get the kids back on the weekend, because it was only supposed to be that weekend deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's not happening. So not only in that case, in other cases, they take them to Nevada, Utah, Maine, and then the local people can't get them back.
Yeah,
And then they lawyer up, and then we're
Yeah.
getting screwed. So I don't want that to happen to you guys at home. If you're going to marry someone, make sure they're going to be with you for the rest of their life. Going to pay child support, alimony, Bitcoin, insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Going to take care of you guys. Be self-sufficient. Because I see a lot of hustling going on. You guys in the younger generation working hard. But are they really going to take care of Will, or are they going to extort his ass?
Oh, they're gonna extort him.
What?
Totally.
100 billion%, bro.
Wow. Okay.
Look at his face. Come on.
He's got a Filipino girlfriend, folks. So
Yeah,
Pinoy
it
power.
sounds like a green card.
Somebody believes in him. She loves him.
I'm joking. They
No, she
love
has a
each
green
other.
card. She has a green card.
Okay, all right.
Not from you.
I was just kidding.
That was like,
That was
how
from
you
the
said
last
earlier.
guy.
Like how you said earlier. I don't think people with green cards shouldn't vote. You know why? Let me tell you why. Because people who has green card has no idea about politics. Because they're from another country. They know nothing about American politics.
Tell that to Chris Haas's mom, who's from Mexico.
Chris Haas, Chris
our-
Haas's mom, and everyone else.
Well, if you really know
Into
about
the
politics,
country,
I think
need
you
to
should get
read your
American
Constitution.
citizenship. That's what it is. You need American citizenship to vote.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, those are blood-sucking parasites. Poly is multi, and
But-
ukus is ticks.
But
is
here's the thing. This is with
parasites.
my
Blood-sucking
mother too.
parasites.
But if you're an immigrant, they're most likely all Democrats. Because you know why?
Because they're leaving the country from a
They're
dictator.
aliens. They don't pay taxes. They're not even speaking English, bro.
I don't understand why you would, if you're escaping a socialist country, why would you come to America and then vote for socialist policies?
Because that's the closest thing to the jump of your mindset that you
'Cause-
can get to.
Because Democrats are like they're propaganding all over the places, more than the.
Interesting. Okay.
That's what I think. Because my mom is a Democrat.
No, it's true.
Biden,
It's true.
They
They
come
don't
up-
just come from socialist countries. Philippines isn't a socialist country. Like Japan's not a socialist country. Like Mexico's actually not a socialist country. It's just a messed up country right now. So I think it's what Will said. It's just the Democrats are masters of propaganda. And they're just absolutely legend at it. And until this election, undefeated. This is the first time you saw the country reject their shit.
Like totally popular.
Yeah.
Lately, like
well,
Okay.
2016, they kind of.
We lost the popular vote.
They were supposed to be the red wave with Trump during that time, if you guys remember.
And then
And with the
2020.
Joe Biden dementia, Kamala Harris, who was
Like,
drunk.
nobody's talking about the
Just-
Just,
saw
just
another
for the
podcast.
record, Joe Biden, most popular president of all time.
20
Number
million
one,
votes.
baby, 2020.
More than
2020.
I
Obama.
remember.
More popular than Obama.
see, this is what I don't understand. Why do immigrants still support Democrat Kamala
They want
out
benefits.
of all things? After they know Biden is a brain dead president. This is what I don't understand.
There's not a lot of logic. In this stuff.
Why?
Yeah, there's no logic. Medical, Social Security
Well,
benefits. They're trying to cut
I'm-
everything off.
I mean,
Some of them
I'm
have-
just saying, there's crazy Democrats. There's a crazy one that
It's
protest
crazy
outside
amazing.
the state capitol.
Some of them have family that are unauthorized, undocumented, illegal, whatever you
'Cause-
want to use.
And then there's the immigrant who has
Some
no
of
idea
them
about American
don't.
politics. And here's the thing: I got assaulted by a Democrat. Okay.
Unsurprising.
Yes. I got
That's
assaulted-
usually how the story goes.
Yes.
Where? In D.C.?
No, here actually. Out of all things.
What did you do and what did you say?
I didn't say anything bad.
The world has to know.
Okay, so all these woke liberals. I was passing out condoms to these abortion rights.
Oh, boy.
and then
There it
they
goes, folks.
they
I
were
like these guys.
deeply offended about
Gotta
abortion
be
rights.
Will.
Which I have nothing against abortion rights, but I guess
Were they Magnum size or Trojan? What brand would you?
Magnum.
Okay, you're
It was
offering
a
the-
premium. It was a premium version.
Okay.
Okay, I was giving them like a really good condom, but I guess they didn't like it. I guess.
Should have got them the extra sensitive, extra small, like, extra thin.
I was joking about it was like an anti.
Yeah, what about from
and
your
you're
stash?
Japanese, bro,
Your
you know.
extra small stash.
Small stash.
The
yeah.
personal stash.
The personal
You could have wrote Chisai Chimpo, they would have took it.
They
All
probably
right,
did.
we should go to the next
Yeah,
location.
let's go to the next one.
Let's wrap it up.
All right, Chihu.
Cheesy.
All right, let's make this